Hi, in this video, I'll guide you through creating a work management board on monday.com. We will set up columns, add tasks, categorize them by task type, and ensure everything is well organized for easy tracking. Let's get started. Now, let's create a board. First of all, if you do not have accounts with monday.com yet, I suggest you pause this video at this junction and create your account, after which you can come back to watch this video. I need you to know that this place where you are seeing now is called workspace. So this is my workspace. It is on this workspace that you create board or boards. So let's go ahead and create our board. To create your board, you click on this plus button here. You can see it, add item to workspace. You click on this plus button and then select board. When you have selected board, it will ask you to give your board a name. So for the purpose of this class, I'm going to create a new board and give it sample. Sample is the name I'm giving it. After you have given your board a name, the next thing is to select the privacy you want on this board. There are three types. You have main, private, and shareable. If you choose main, it simply means that your board will be visible to everyone on your account. If you choose private, it means that this board will be visible to you and selected members, so you'll be able to work privately either alone or with selected members. While if you choose shareable, it means that you will be able to work privately with guests outside your account. So we are choosing main. The next is to select what you are managing on this board. Is it an item, budget, employee, campaign, leads, project, creatives, clients, tasks? If none of these names here resonates with you or signifies what you want to do on this board, you have the opportunity of naming your board anyhow you want, and that's the purpose of this custom here. So we are going to also name our board or the first column on our board. Give it a particular name we want. So we're going to name it sample data. Sample data. Then the next is to click on create board. Let's wait while our board creates. Now let's create some views on our board. Usually when you create a new board on monday.com, it comes with main table view. That's the automated view that it comes with, but you can create other views. Like for instance, I have Kanban view here that I've created. You can see my board in Kanban view. Here, Kanban view deals with status or priority. So you can see that it has broken the tasks into criticality, into priority. We have three tasks that are in critical stage or priority. We have two that are in high priority. We have three that has medium priority and two that has low priority. You can also create, let's say, calendar view. You want to see it based on their dates. You see, we have our tasks listed based on the dates, their due dates. So we have the calendar view here. You can create other views. You can create chart view. Okay, here we have this chart view. We'll look at the dashboard and reporting. There we'll see chart view more. But here I need us to know that we can create views. We don't have to just use this view to check what is happening with our task. Anytime we want to look at it, you can look at it based on cards like this Kanban view and so on. Now that our board is created, let's now go ahead to create columns and rows. I'm going to show you how I created these columns and rows on my board. To create a column, all you need to do is go to this plus button here, click on it. When you do, a dialog box will come out, and all of these things written in this dialog box is wanting to know this new column you want to create. What is the text field? Is it a status, text, people? All of these things have their meaning. For instance, status is to show the status of a project or a task. Text is to enable you write short text or names, just something short. People is to enable you assign tasks to your team members. Drop down is to enable you put in options that your teammates or people can choose from. They can choose from between one and more options. Date, it means that the column is a date column. You will be able to set dates, start date, due date, and so on. Files, this column, if you choose file, this column will enable your members or your team members to attach files, attach documents, videos, etc. Formula, of course, to calculate formula. Connect, this will enable you connect boards. You can connect from one board to another and also mirror it. After connecting, there's what we call mirror. That means you'll be on one board and see data or information. Choose information you want to see on the other board. You see a checkbox column. If it's not any of these here, you can actually search for what you want. If, for instance, I want to create a column that will enable me to write long text or enable my team members type long text, all I need to do is search for long text. You can see it here. Click on it and it's created. You can rename it afterwards. Or I want to create a column that will enable me see when a team member, the last time a team member worked on a project. I will just type last updated. I will just click on it and it appears. You can see it here. Then you can rename it. Let's delete the ones we have created here. So to delete, just click on these three dots here and then click on delete and you delete. We're deleting because we already have these columns. So we'll start explaining each of these columns and rows, how to fill them, how to change their names, rename them. For instance, to rename this very first column, this column is called a unique identifier or a primary column. You don't change it or rename it the way you do the other columns. For instance, these other columns, to rename them, you can just type into the name and change it to what you want. This particular owner, this one that has owner, came as people, but I changed it to owner. All of these ones, this one came as last updated. I renamed it to last modified. But to change this first one, this first column, what you need to do is click on this three dotted line here, then scroll down to settings, scroll down again to change item terminology, and you'll be able to change the name. Let's go to the sample board that we created and perform some renaming of columns and rows. We are here now. So the first thing I need you to know is when you create a new monday.com board, it comes automatically with some columns and rows. You will either delete these columns or rename them. So if they are not the columns you need, you just delete them, and like I said earlier, you click here and you delete. But if they are the columns that you need, you can rename them. Let's assume we need a people column, so it's already named. I named it team. We can also delete it and name it owner. We can name it anything. For the status column, we can name it task status. Task status. You see? Then what do we want to see in the status? Is this, you can name anything. You can edit the label. Just click inside it and it pops out. Then you click on edit label. So instead of working on it, we can rename it in progress. You can also change the color by clicking on this. You can change the color to anything, any color you choose, any color that you want to use to beautify your board. Then the next one, stock. We can rename this one to completed. We can create a new board, a new label, not started. When you are done editing and beautifying your status column, you click on apply. The same goes with priority table or column rather. You click on this plus button and select priority. Then to edit the priority column, you click inside one of the rows and click on edit label, and of course you fill in the names you want, the colors you want to use to represent them. After that, you click on apply. Let's go back to the board that I created earlier. So here we are. To assign a task, to type in or fill in your rows, all you need to do is click on this space here. Just click on it, type what you want to type and click enter, and your role is filled. So you go ahead and fill every part of the role. To assign a team member to a task, you click here and select the team member. You can assign as many team members as possible to a task. What else are we going to talk about? To attach a file, you click here and click on from my computer, or you select where you want to attach the file from, then select the file, click open, and the file is attaching. Okay, the file has been attached. Date, all you need to do is click in here and select the date. Is it a due date, a start date, whatever it is, you select it. Then you can change the status of a job or a task as you are working on it. You can see this last modified is showing everything we are doing here, is showing automatically that I renamed or I worked on this particular column and row. I did something here, so it will update it it has updated to today's date and time. I think that is it about columns and rows. The next thing is we're going to move to explaining other things, carrying out some automations. Now let's create some automation so that repeated tasks can run on their own without human efforts or human inputs. And to do that, we need to click on this automate. You can see I have 6 automation already created and running, but I'm going to guide you through how to create this automation, and we're going to test out our automation to see how they work. Now the first one on the list of automation that I created and I want us to delete and recreate is every week on Friday notify somebody. I use Ronald as the person to be notified. It can be anybody in the team. Every Friday notify Ronald to do his task or to carry out his task. So before we do that, let's delete this very one and then recreate it. So you see how it's created. The automation has been deleted. So to create a new one, you click on add automation. When you choose every time period, because it's every week, so you click here every 1 week. It could be every 2 weeks, but we want to deal with every 1 week. And then we'll choose weekly. It can be daily, like every day, every week, every month, but we're choosing weekly. So every week, at what time? At 8 a.m. Which day of the week? We're choosing Friday. So every week, notify. What is the message we are sending to Ronald? Hey, kindly remember to share the updates for the week. Cheers. That's the message we want Ronald to receive. Then let's choose the person we're sending it to. It can be me, which is Ronald, and it can be anybody in the team, any team member. Create automation. You can see the automation is created. The next one is, let's also delete this very automation. Let's delete it. And the automation we deleted now is when status changes to completed, move that particular task to completed group. So let's create it. Add automation. When status changes to completed, move item to completed group. Create automation. The next one we're going to do is when status changes to in progress, move that task to in progress group. We have deleted it, so let's create a new one. When status changes to in progress, move to in progress group. Create automation. The next automation we are going to create is, we want to move the priority of a task to critical when maybe 3 days before due date arrives. Okay, we've deleted the former one I created, so let's create a new one. We want to, when date arrives, so 3 days before. It can be before, it can be after. So before due date arrives at 8 a.m. we select due date. We are selecting due date because that's the only date column that we have on the board. If we have other date columns, it will give us the option to select the particular date. Is it start date? Is it due date? So 3 days before due date arrives, change status, change the priority status to critical, so that the person who is working on that task will know that that task needs to be worked on as soon as possible. With the next automation we are going to perform now is a day after due date, or okay, let's do when status changes to stock, notify a team lead or a team member. Let's delete this one and create it again. When status changes to stock, then notify team lead, I need help with this task. Thank you. You click done, and who are we notifying? It's either me, or you choose this people column, which is the owner column on our board, and you choose anybody that we assign to. Create automation. Now let's go and test some of this automation that we just created. Let's go back to our main board. So when status changes to completed, move task to status group. So let's change this to completed. Our automation is running, as you can see here, and task has been moved to completed. Let's change this one to in progress. Automation is running. Okay, our automation has appeared in the in progress group. Let's also test when status changes to stock. What happens when status changes to stock? Let's change this one to stock and see if I'll receive any message. Automation is also running. Yes, I just received a message. Hey, team lead, I need help with this task. Thank you. As you can see, all the automation are running perfectly. So this is how you automate most of your repeated tasks so that they can run on their own and you get notified as soon as they appear. The last thing we are going to look at is dashboards. We're going to look at dashboards. It's a pictorial representation of your board, what you have on your board. Okay, so we have so many widgets. This is called widgets. All of these, they are called widgets, and you can add widget from here. I clicked here to add all of these widgets you are seeing here. Here we have tags by status. So this widget is a chart widget. So you can change it from here. You can go to settings, and let's go to settings. What type of charts do we want to have? Do we want to have it as line chart or bar chart, rather, bar charts, line charts, stack charts, donut charts? Whatever chart you want to, you can change it from there. You can choose the type of chart you want to have. There are other things you can change to. So this one is all task. This is number widgets. It's all tasks. So from our table, you can see we have 10 tasks. 3 are in progress, 3 are stock, and 4 are done. That means 4 are in the done group. Then also we have tasks by owner. Here we have only Ronald, but assuming we have other teammates assigned to different tasks or teammates that are on this workspace, all of their names will appear here with the number of tasks assigned to them. Here we have tasks overdue. 3 are overdue, and that's because we are stuck with the task. 3 are in progress, they are not done yet. We also have tasks by due dates. You can edit any of these widgets by clicking on these 3 dots here. We can add another widget just to show you how to add widgets. You can click on more. Let's add workload widgets. Let's see how it appears. Okay, so these are our workload widgets. Because Ronald is the only team member, so his name is the only one showing, and it's showing how many between 20 to 26 he has 4 tasks to execute. Between 20, that's week 5, 27 January to 2nd February, he has 2 tasks. So widget by workload. So dashboard and reporting enables you to have a quick view of your board, of what is happening. You have a quick view. Looking at this donut widget, which is tasks by status, you can see that even here you see 40% is completed, 30% stock, 30% in progress. That is it about this tutorial. Thank you for watching.